From the Phillipsburg High School Gymnasium on the campus of Phillipsburg High School in Lopatcong Township, New Jersey, Stateliner Sports Network proudly presents Phillipsburg High School Wrestling. Tonight, the Stateliners play host to the Rockets of Raritan. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Moore, and along with Bob Kerp, we'll be bringing you all the hold-by-hold of tonight's matchup. Phillipsburg and Raritan Wrestling is brought to you on the Stateliner Sports Network by Rothman Orthopedics, proud to be the exclusive partner of the NJSIAA and to support Stateliner Athletics. Visit RothmanOrtho.com to make an appointment and stop dealing with pain. Get back to truly living. By Ahart, Frinzi & Smith, recognized as one of the leading insurance agencies in the United States. Find out more at afsinsurance.com. By Erco Credit Union, 450 Hillcrest Boulevard in Phillipsburg and 2240 Northampton Street in Easton. Great rates, low fees. Clean up those after the holidays bills with a low-cost personal loan. Visit us at ercocu.com. By Buxton Athletic Training Center in Randolph, New Jersey, for all of your wrestling training needs year-round. World-class coaching and top-notch wrestlers of all ages. Follow them on Instagram at Buxton Athletics and on Facebook at Buxton Athletic Training Center. By the Firth Youth Center, a proud promoter of youth athletics. Find them at www.firthyouthcenter.com. Follow the Stateliners on Facebook at Phillipsburg HS Wrestling. By Open Mic, for exclusive coverage of the Stateliners and the entire Hunterdon and Warren, Sussex area, follow Mike Weileman's blog at mikeopen.blogspot.com. By Welcome to the Pit, a history of Phillipsburg wrestling is available. Order yours on Amazon today. And follow Phillipsburg Wrestling on Twitter at Phillipsburg HS Wrestling. That's Phillipsburg HS WRESTLIN. Stateliners come into the match tonight with a dual meet record of 3-0, defeating Hillsborough 68-0, Newton 45-12, and last night defeating the Blue Streaks of Warren Hills 49-12. Stateliners with a fourth-place finish in the King of the Mountain tournament to start the season, and last weekend finishing in a tie for 8th in the Hurricane tournament at Liberty High School. Raritan comes into the match tonight with a record of 4-1. They have defeated Manasquan 70-6, Homedale 62-10, Pensauken 62-13, defeated Rumson 36-21, and lost last Saturday to Hunterdon Central 37-31. They finished second in the Walter Woods tournament over the weekend. Raritan minus 8 starters from a year ago when they went to the Group 2 final, and they were edged by High Point for that championship. Coach Rob Nucci telling me before the match that they have about 50 kids in the program, including 12 girls, and the girls are competing at Kingsway tonight, which he told me has about 30 girls in the program in this the first year of girls wrestling across New Jersey. Coach Nucci is in his 18th season, an overall record of 356 wins, 95 losses, and Raritan competing this year in District 21, Region 6. They won the last 2 District 20 titles. Stateliners, of course, coming off a 17-2 dual meet record a year ago, including just 1 loss in New Jersey, a Group 4 championship, and a number 4 ranking in the coaches poll. They graduated the all-time wins leader and state runner-up Brian Meyer, along with 2-time regional runner-up Cullen Day, 2018 district champ and region third-place finisher Lance Wissing, region place winner Shamir Broaders, and district champ Josh Ramos. Good crowd on hand, especially in the Phillipsburg side of the gymnasium. Raritan has already completed their warm-ups, and the Stateliners are just coming out right now. We're going to begin the match at 145 pounds tonight. For Raritan, it'll be Vin Mangano, a junior, 6-4. He'll face Phillipsburg senior Kyle Tino, 9-6. 152, James Eklund, a senior, 6-6 for Raritan, against Phillipsburg senior Cody Harrison, 8-1. 160 pounds, Anthony Bailey, a junior for Raritan, 8-4, will face Phillipsburg senior TJ Abode. He is 7-5. 170, Anthony Aquilano, the 6th-ranked wrestler in the state, according to NJ.com. For Raritan, he's a senior, 10-0. He'll face Phillipsburg freshman David Pearson, 5-5. 182, George Burdick of Raritan, also the 6th-ranked wrestler in the state, according to NJ.com. He is a senior, 10-1. He'll take on Phillipsburg junior Jacob Wicks, 7-4. 195, Justin Acevedo for Raritan. He's a senior, 9-2, facing Phillipsburg senior Austin Roth, 8-4. 220 for Raritan, either Charles Barali, a senior, 2-1, or junior Kevin Lind, 6-3, against Phillipsburg sophomore Gage Horvath. He is 6-6. 285, Matt Spurko for Raritan. He's a senior, 3-1. He'll face Phillipsburg junior Cody Krutz, 4-5. Back up top at 106, Alex Auletta for Raritan, a freshman, 5-5, against Phillipsburg freshman James Day, 12-5. 113, Raritan with 2 wrestlers waiting there who have both seen some varsity action. Aiden Dennehy, a senior, 2-3, and Jordan Rafalco, a sophomore, 2-6. For the Stateliners, it'll be sophomore Logan Matsko, who is 8-5. 120, Raritan sophomore Matt Vargas, 2-3, against Phillipsburg freshman Joe Inamorato. He is 5-3. 126, Michael Lene for Raritan. He's a junior, 6-2, against Phillipsburg senior Bryce Peretti. He is 11-5. 132, Raritan with 2 wrestlers weighed in there. Cameron Rafalco, a senior, 5-6, or junior Jake Spurko, 3-5, against Phillipsburg senior Travis Jones. Jones ranked 3rd in the state. He is 9-2. And at 138, either Rafalco or Spurko against Luke Harden of the Stateliners, a senior, 3-5. Phillipsburg did also weigh in Jared Kukor there. The junior is 2-2, and he had wrestled up at 152 in the Liberty Hurricane tournament last weekend. So a good clash tonight, Bob, between a couple of programs who have been really strong. Of course, the Stateliners overall, and Raritan the last couple of seasons. I mean, last year advancing to the Group 2 final.
We have one potential rematch from the January 2017 match tonight, and that would be George Burdick and Austin Roth if they come out on the mat at the same time. So the Stateliners coming off a very successful night last night with pins from Peretti, Harrison, Roth, Abode, and Jones. And very good night on their feet last night.
Public address announcer Ed Mancinelli. Tonight we're going to have a flautist play our national anthem. It'll be Phillipsburg junior Michaela Madayo. Michaela Madayo will play our national anthem. Michaela Medallo, Phillipsburg High School junior, with the playing of our national anthem. Special welcome tonight to fans from Raritan, unable to make the trip, but able to join us on the Stateliner Sports Network. And we'll be back here Saturday night at 7 o'clock. The Stateliners will entertain Monroe Township. And then we have 3 matches coming up next week. Wednesday against Montgomery, Thursday against Kittatinny, and then Saturday the semifinal and final rounds of the Hunterdon Sussex Warren tournament. So both coaches have indicated that they may elect to make some moves. Raritan has actually 18 wrestlers here for the introductions, and the Stateliners have a couple of extras, and we'll just have to wait and see how things play out after we get started at 1:45. Phillipsburg coach Dave Post thought that maybe Raritan might forfeit to Cody Harrison, the defending state place winner for Phillipsburg at 152, and kick up a couple of people there. And he also wanted to get, hoping for the most favorable matchups at 132 and 138. And at Raritan, Coach Nucci, it's there's no doubt when you look down at the roster and you look down their accomplishments, it is the heavier of the wrestlers at Raritan, who have been doing the damage and are the ranked wrestlers in the state, and maybe they'll be making some moves up top.
So their success would presumably require bonus points in the upper weights to offset losses elsewhere.
A couple of wrestlers being introduced for Raritan, at 170 and 182. The Rockets in green and silver, and the Stateliners, of course, in garnet and gray. Our referee tonight is Chris Rebels, and we have seen him here a number of times at Phillipsburg High School.
So we have a different mat tonight than we did last night.
JV match was won by Phillipsburg 33-6. There were 7 bouts wrestled in the JV match. And they have finished the introductions, and now the coaches and the captains will meet with Chris Rebels at the center of the mat for the flip of the disc. Cody Harrison out there with the wrap on his forehead to protect the cuts that he had over both eyes. It kept him out of the Hurricane tournament last weekend.
This is maybe the most wrestlers I've ever seen out for the flip.
Chris Rebels will do the tossing. Raritan gets to call it. Raritan won it. I believe they said odd. So Raritan will be out first in the odd matches. So we'll begin at 1:45, and scheduled Vin Mangano for Raritan, a junior 6-4, and for Phillipsburg it'll be senior Kyle Tino, 9-6. Stateliners tonight in their predominantly white singlet with gray and garnet trim. Tino and Mangano opening the night at 1:45. Just working on each other, hand fighting outside the center. Wrestlers break apart with 30 seconds in and no advantage here in the opener at 1:45. Tino with half a shot at the right leg, and they're off the mat, no advantage.
Tino weighed in at 133.5, and Mangano at 144.9.
Kyle Tino was at 147. Jason at 133. Kyle at 147.6. And the weight class, with the teams wrestling last night, they get another pound, so it's actually up 3. Tino has him in the air, steps through, and has the takedown. Tino's on top 2-0.
It's a nice double. He caught Mangano coming at him.
Reaching for a cross-face cradle. Now just wrapping around that left arm. Tino grabbing control of the right leg at the edge of the mat here with 42 seconds to go. And Tino will take him off the mat back to the center, just under 40 seconds. So Tino jumping out to a 2-0 lead. Coach Dave Post shedding the sport coat here in the first period of bout number 1. Tino, right hand tight waist. Reaches for the left wrist. Now with that claw, trying to claw the left shoulder while still controlling the left wrist. Trying to work to get the right leg in. Tino trying to sit down now on top of that left arm. Now he bars the left arm. Has the right wrist. Tino still has the bar. Drives him over to his back. And Chris Rebels, did he get a 2 count? Yes, 2 back points for Tino. And he had Mangano in a lot of trouble at the end of period number 1. It's 4-0 Tino.
Yes, he went from that bar to a wrist and half and had him in a good spot.
Mangano's going to defer. Tino will take down to start the second. Tino will get set, hands and knees. Mangano, left hand tight waist. Tino stands, peels at those hands. He's out in 3 seconds. And Tino leads 5-0. Off they go, just to the left of our Stateliner Sports Network camera.
Tino was to his feet with almost no effort.
Trying to snap down on the head of Mangano. Has him off balance, now trying to spin around behind. Mangano fleeing the mat, and no call from Chris Rebels. Minute 33 to go in the second.
Action was close enough to the edge.
Tino's in on the left leg to a double. Trying to drive through. Trips. Has a takedown. Tino leads 7-0.
Just love the way he counters.
See if he works for that bar that he got at the end of the first period. Takes the left wrist. Picks up on the right ankle to flatten him out. Sits down on top of that left arm, now with a half, or cupping him under the chin. At the edge, they will go off with Tino still in control and 45 seconds to go. Tino has a 7-0 lead. He's got a pair of takedowns, 2 back points, and an escape. Reaches inside for the left wrist. Right hand thigh pry, breaks down Mangano. 30 seconds to wrestle here in period number 2. The opening bout of the night, Phillipsburg and Raritan. Stateliner fans a little anxious to the right, trying to work a tilt. Controlling that left wrist. 10 seconds to go here in the second. Tino going to run out of time again, just looking up at the clock. Second period ends with Tino on top 7-0. The choice is Mangano's. He's going to go underneath. Kyle Tino, a defending district champ, 6th in the King of the Mountain, 8th in the Hurricane, 3rd last year in the Hunter and Sussex Warren, and Tino is going to cut him. It is 7-1 now in the third. Tino with 61 career wins, 12 as a freshman, 15 as a sophomore. As he's in on that left leg, trips the right to a double and has a takedown. Tino's on top, 9-1. Cuts him, it is 9-2. Tino at 25 wins a year ago. He was 25-11 as a junior. Off the mat in front of the Raritan bench. Just under a minute and a half to go in the bout.
That third shot was not as good in penetration as the first two, but again, it was the second effort that made the difference.
Stalling warning on Mangano. Diving in on a double. Tino picks up, has the right leg up, going to a double and off the mat to our left at a minute 11. Dave Post saying keep the pressure on. He has a stalling warning.
Difference here, Mike, I think Mangano's taller, so Tino gets in on that double, wants to pick him up and can't quite get him off the ground.
1 minute to wrestle. Tino dives in on the left leg to a double. Has the tackle and a takedown. Tino is on top, 11-2.
That time he just turned the corner from a low position.
Has built to the major. And now he will try to ride out Vinny Mangano. 38 seconds to go in the bout. Caution, that's on Kyle Tino.
Bumped in a little on the grab.
First caution in the bout. Right hand tight waist. Mangano sits, stands. Tino gets him back down to his knees. Right hand thigh pry. Mangano tries to sit again. Tino keeps that weight high on his back. 20 seconds to go in the bout. Tino will pick him up on the mat return. They're down with 17 seconds to go.
Finally got him off his feet.
This is Mangano's first year of varsity action for the Rockets. 10 seconds to go. Tino almost had him off balance, tried to turn him to his right. Tino's going to stay right there. He will win in 11, well, he's going to get a point. An 11-3 major decision at 1:45, and after one, Phillipsburg leads Raritan 4-0. Cody Harrison is going to go out for Phillipsburg at 1:52. And we'll see who comes out for Raritan. We'll wait for Ed Mancinelli to let us know. It's not going to be James Eklund. Nick Cadu. He weighed 145.4. Harrison has a takedown in 2 seconds and then gives up an escape. Second takedown and an escape. I think he's taken him down a third time. I think it's 6-2. Controlling the left wrist. Harrison maintaining control. He has the controlling the left wrist, has that pin behind the body, sitting on top. He wants to sit down on top of that left arm. Picks up on the left leg. He's got that arm all the way over across the back. Now cups under the chin, sinks the arm inside. And we'll try to drive him over now with a low leg cradle, or a cradle. Has him on his back. Chris Rebels is looking in. And the fall with a cradle for Cody Harrison in a minute 13. And Phillipsburg leads Raritan 10-0. So Nick Cadu pin. Now let's see if they move up Eklund against TJ Abode. Yep, it is Eklund. Eklund is a senior, 6-6. TJ Abode of Phillipsburg is a senior, 7-5. Eklund weighed 152.9. Abode weighs 158.2. Tied up right in the center. 10-0 lead for Phillipsburg on a major and a fall. Front head and arm for Abode. Reaching for the left ankle. Eklund trying to block Abode off with his left arm behind the right thigh. Abode trying to snap down on the head. Still no advantage here at the edge of the mat, right in front of our Stateliner Sports Network camera, and they're off the mat neutral with 1:12 to go in the first. Circle each other to the right. Abode with a pad on his left elbow. Don't recall seeing that last night. Wrestlers tied up. 50 seconds to go here in a scoreless first. Off the mat they go at 46 seconds. Bo did most of his wrestling at about 138 last year as Eklund dives in on a double. Abode sprawls, now trying to work a high crotch. Picks up Abode over top his head and trying to come out the back door as Abode hangs on to the left ankle. Abode trying to rolls on through that. He still has that left ankle. Wraps around the left knee, and Abode's trying to pick that up. Abode dumps him down, dumps Eklund down to his right hip. Under 10 seconds to go here in the first. Wrestlers are head to toe, and Chris Rebels is going to stalemate it at 4.2 seconds. So it was Eklund who was in on that shot, and Abode fought it off and almost countered with one of his own.
Abode was in an awkward spot there, but he showed good presence.
First period scoreless at 160, and Eklund quickly takes bottom here in the second. Eklund has an escape, and it's 1-0 Eklund. So Dave Post was hoping to get the first three, but I do not believe he expected Raritan to bump up this early. Abode trying to spin around to Eklund's left. Eklund trying to block him off with his left arm. Maybe near a stalemate here, but Eklund pops up to his feet. Still no advantage.
It's about the third time Eklund's been in, and Abode's ended up on top with no advantage either way.
So a couple of tall wrestlers here at 160. Abode dives in. He's looking for a double. Eklund sprawls. And a headlock by Abode. Still no advantage. Still no advantage. Eklund wants to try and roll all the way on through that and get a takedown of his own. There's the two. Eklund trying to turn in. Abode trying to reach back from his hip. And there's a reversal. We're tied at 2. 30 seconds to wrestle in the second. Eklund looking for a cross-face cradle. Abode trying to pushes that right elbow over top his head. Abode stands. Eklund still has Abode's head. Gets him down to his knees. 15 seconds to go. 3-2 here. Eklund on the escape and the reversal. And a stalemate's called with 7.6 seconds remaining in their neutral.
These guys are an interesting matchup in the way that they turn and react and counter. Because we've seen two scrambles that are not something you see every night.
Abode stands. Eklund picks him up on the mat return. 2 seconds to go. And he will ride out the second with Eklund on top 3-2. And Abode will be underneath in the third. Stateliners lead the match 10-0. We're at 160, or the third of 14. Raritan kicking up James Eklund, who weighed in at 152. That's a caution on Eklund.
When Abode hit that headlock, it looked like he had the takedown before Chris Rebels gave it to him. And by the time he did, Abode was in the process of losing it as Eklund came out the backside.
Eklund riding out the right side. Abode tried reaching back for a hand behind the right knee. Abode trying to stand. It's up on his left foot. Eklund reaching for a cradle. That's broken by Abode. Abode controlling that right wrist. Eklund keeps that right leg of Abode hooked. Abode tries to stand, stands. Eklund on the mat return. Again reaches for that cross-face cradle. Got up a little high. Abode tried, a Peterson roll by Abode. Chris Rebels looking in, there's the reversal on the Peterson, but he's not going to get any back points so far. Trying to pull him back in. Abode reaching back under the arm, will take him off the mat. So on the Peterson roll, he gets the reversal, and Abode has a 4-3 lead with 52 seconds to wrestle.
When he got to his feet, he was trying to get the Peterson from there and probably could have stepped down and cleared himself. Didn't get it, back to the mat, then he got the Peterson.
Abode puts the left leg in, picks up on the right leg. Now Eklund trying to turn in on Abode and drive him to his back. He may have a cradle. Abode steps across that. Abode still in control. He's about to lose him. There's the escape with 30 seconds to wrestle, and the bout's tied at 4.
This has been entertaining.
Diving in is Eklund. Abode sprawls. Trying to pick that left hand from behind his right thigh. Tries to underhook Eklund. 7 seconds to go. Eklund has the left leg of Abode, would like to try to pick that up. 2 seconds, 1 second. Nope, the buzzer sounded before Eklund got the takedown. So we're going to go overtime, tied at 4. Chris Rebels heard the horn heard the buzzer before awarding the points. So we're in overtime at 160. Eklund dives in, sloppy shot. Abode trying to spin around to his left. Eklund blocking him off with his left arm. Right in front of our Stateliner Sports Network camera. Off they go, 40 seconds to go in the 1 minute overtime.
Eklund has actually looked better on his feet, but Abode has the only takedown of the bout.
Circling each other to the right. Yeah, I don't see Abode shooting here. Now he dives in on a double. Eklund tries to sprawl. Abode trying to pull him in, can't. Off they go in front of the Raritan bench at 19 seconds.
Wasn't a great shot, but as he came up to his knees, he had a chance there to drive.
Circling to the right, dives in again, Eklund sprawling. Abode trying to drive through that, under 10 seconds. Eklund trying to spin around behind, and Eklund got the takedown with 4 seconds to go. So Eklund puts Raritan on the board, 6-4 in overtime. And we are through 3. It is Phillipsburg 10 and Raritan 3. Now we'll see who's out. Anthony Bailey going up from 160. Bailey weighed 158.9. Pearson weighed 167.9. So 9-pound advantage for the Phillipsburg freshman. He is 5-5. Anthony Bailey, the junior, is 8-4. Pearson is in on the right leg. Trying to come up and get control out of that scramble is Bailey. Pearson still has a hand behind the left knee, but he might lose that and give up this takedown. Chris Rebels indicating no control. Now Pearson tried to come out and face him. Pearson trying to kick away, and as Bailey gets the tackle, he gets the takedown and he's out in front 2-0. Pearson will get set underneath.
Pearson, a winner last night, at the beneficiary of a missed lateral drop against Warren Hills.
Bailey reaches back. Left-hand thigh pry on the left thigh of David Pearson. 1 minute to wrestle here in the first. Anthony Bailey of Raritan with a 2-0 lead on Phillipsburg's David Pearson. Pearson stands, arching his back. Brought back down to his knees by Bailey. Bailey reaches for the left wrist of Pearson. Likes that left-hand thigh pry. At the edge of the mat to our left. Pearson tried to step over. And they're out of bounds with 17 seconds to go.
Pearson did a nice sit earlier to clear his hips, then came up to his feet, wasn't able to get away.
Bailey with that left-hand thigh pry. Reaching across for the left elbow. Pearson sits, and Bailey will ride him out. Leads 2-0 after one. Pearson will defer. And Bailey will take down to start the second. Bailey, a junior, 1-3 last year. 8-4 so far this season. Pearson trying to trying to sink the left leg in. Work a power half. Has both legs in. Trying to cross face and check him to his right. Pearson trying to work that 9-pound weight advantage. Get some back points here in the second.
Got those legs in very quickly.
Trying to take the right wrist. Stalemate called by Chris Rebels. 1:21 to go here in the second. 10-3 lead for Phillipsburg after 3. Caution on Pearson. Bailey tries to stand. Tried to catch that right leg coming in. He caught the right leg. Pearson trying to take the right wrist, take him off his base. And there's a reversal for Bailey. Leads Pearson 4-0. Trying to drive a bar from the left side. Walking with the bar. Unable to budge Pearson. Pearson frees the right wrist. Bailey working control of that left arm. Reaching inside for the right wrist of Pearson. under 20 seconds to go here in the second. A 4-0 lead. There's a stalemate called by Chris Rebels on a takedown and reversal for Anthony Bailey. Pearson is ready. Bailey, left hand tight waist, right elbow. Pearson trying to stand. Stands. 3 seconds to go. And Bailey will maintain control and lead 4-0 after 2. Pearson looking over to Dave Post, and he will go underneath to start the third. Coach Post in his 9th year at Phillipsburg, 132-20. The 2018 Region 3 Coach of the Year, 2-time Express Times Coach of the Year. A roll by Pearson, and he's got a reversal.
That was well done. Very well done.
4-2. Now he got up a little high.
He's got a tighter grip, though, this time, Mike, under the chin.
Trying to check Bailey to his back. .30 gone, trying to work a power half and turn Bailey to his right. Pearson working that power half. Chris Rebels looking in. That is stalemated or potentially dangerous. Illegal hold. And a point for Bailey to make it 5-3. Or correction, 5-2. Second caution on Pearson.
Oh, we know he wants the legs in.
Bailey stands right away. He's out. On the escape, it is 6-2. Working takedowns and trying to get in on the leg is Pearson. And again, trying to like funk around him is Bailey. Bailey has Pearson's leg. Pearson trying to roll on through. Bailey near a takedown here. Chris Rebels looking, and there's the takedown. It is 8-2 with 38 seconds. Does he cut him and try to take him down twice? Or will he try to turn him and get 2 and build to a major? Dave Post was hoping to minimize bonus points at 70 and 82, but that was expecting to face Aquilano and Burdick. Pearson rolls, and Bailey stays right with him. 10 seconds to go in the bout. That Bailey leads 8-2. And that will be the final at 170. 8-2 decision for Anthony Bailey of Raritan. We are through 4. Phillipsburg 10 and Raritan 6.
Those were 2 very entertaining bouts with a lot of twists and turns by both wrestlers.
This will be Anthony Aquilano. Aquilano weighs 166. Wicks weighs 175.7. Aquilano's the 6th ranked wrestler in the state at 160. So he weighed in at 170 and kicks up to 182. And they will kick up George Burdick to wrestle Austin Roth at 195. .30 seconds in and no advantage here at 182. Aquilano around the head, tries to horse Wicks to the mat and gets a takedown. Aquilano leads 2-0. Wicks stands. He is out. It's 2-1. Aquilano had wrapped both hands around the head of Wicks and threw him by on his hip to get the takedown. 50 seconds to go here in the first. Wicks trying to snap down on the head of Aquilano. Wrestlers break apart. Raritan in the green and silver. State Liners in the predominantly white singlet. Phillipsburg across the chest. Raritan with rockets vertically down the back. And Raritan across the chest. Wicks reaches for leg, can't get it. Then Wicks is looking for a bear hug. Couldn't get it. Aquilano looking for a bear hug. 5 seconds to go here in the first. And it is 2-1 Aquilano after one. The choice is Aquilano's. He'll go underneath to start the second. Aquilano's a District 20 champ, 4th in Region 5 last year, reaching back for the head of Wicks, and he has an escape. Aquilano leads 3-0. Aquilano, a Caldwell tournament champ and a Walter Woods champ. 34-10 a year ago. 83 wins in his career. 3-1 lead for Aquilano. He has a takedown and an escape. Wicks has an escape.
He appears to either have a strength advantage over Wicks or at least a leverage one. It's just like when he gets a grip, he seems to know more what he's doing with it.
Wicks pushing in, and Aquilano tried to snap him down. Circles at the edge. And they go out of bounds with 54 seconds to go here in the second. Be interesting to see. You know, Dave Post wanted to limit bonus, but will he put Wicks underneath Aquilano in the third? I think he might like the fact that it's only 3-1 here. Wicks with half a shot at the left leg, can't get it. Aquilano trying to snap Wicks down with 30 seconds to wrestle here in the second. Lost control, and Wicks able to pop out of that front head and arm. Ten seconds to go here in the second. Aquilano with a takedown and an escape for Wicks. Aquilano got out pretty early in the second. No one able to get a takedown, and Wicks is going to go underneath in the third.
Wicks has held his own on his feet. We'll see how mobile he can be down below.
Wicks is set. Aquilano right hand tight waist. Wicks stands right away. Aquilano picks up on the right leg, and he's out. So it's 3-2. Just 15 seconds into the third.
Jake got to his feet quickly and showed good movement.
This would be a huge upset if Wicks can pull it off. Trailing by a point here with 1:30 to go in the third. Going to go out of bounds over near the Phillipsburg bench.
Aquilano seems to be trying to angle up the big play.
On deck will be George Burdick and Austin Roth. Raritan figuring their chances to get 7 were to kick some people up, and they have done it. Moving everybody up from 152.
It was almost a dangerous shot by Wicks as he came in a little spread eagle when Aquilano caught him with an underhook.
Stalling call on Aquilano. And they go off in front of the Raritan bench. Aquilano is a pinner. Reaching for the leg if Wicks can't get it. Trying to underhook the right shoulder. Reaches for a leg and Wicks fights that off. 30 seconds to wrestle here in the third. Wicks with half a shot. Aquilano with half a shot. Aquilano trying to muscle his way through. 20 seconds to go.
15 seconds.
Down to the final 10. Wicks reaches for a leg, can't get it. Again reaches, can't get it. So Aquilano, the 6th-ranked wrestler in the state, up 2 weight classes. Decisions, Jake Wicks of Phillipsburg 3-2. We are through 5. It's Phillipsburg 10 and Raritan 9. Phillipsburg has a fall and a major. The Rockets have 3 regular decisions.
Wicks wrestled a very intelligent bout there. Staying neutral, did not come close to a takedown, but didn't make any bad moves either.
George Burdick and Austin Roth here at 195. Burdick weighs 180.1. Roth in on the right leg. A roll by, or a funk roll there by Burdick. Still no advantage here. Has Roth in a little bit of trouble at the edge of the mat. Still no advantage because Roth has the right leg of Burdick and they go off the mat, no advantage, 28 seconds in. Austin Roth weighs 187, so he has 7 pounds on Burdick.
Burdick beat Roth 13-5 2 years ago, as the Raritan match last year was postponed.
Roth with half a shot, then Burdick wanted a throw off of that. Off they go, and they're back to the center in 1:19.
This could be lively.
Yeah, I have the same feeling. Burdick diving in on a double. Roth trying to work a front head and arm. One minute to wrestle, scoreless first. Here at 195. Burdick tries to throw Roth on by. Roth then in on the left leg behind the knee. Picks that leg up to a double and they're off on the gym floor. Burdick kind of a little extra to toss Roth there. And Dave Post saying, Austin, use your head here.
He does not take kindly to that.
No. Wrestlers battle for hand control.
He almost had a fireman's carry there. He got that arm in between the legs of Burdick very deeply, but he wasn't low enough to come back up and lift.
Roth dives in to the right leg, picks it up at the edge of the mat, and they go out of bounds again at 11 seconds to go in a scoreless first.
He had a good grip there again. It was a more mat position that saved Burdick.
Roth takes off the headgear and adjusts. He's ready. Chris Rebels blows a whistle with under 10 seconds to go here in the first. Both wrestlers with a pad or brace on the left knee. Scoreless first here at 195. Roth will go underneath to start the second. Phillipsburg 10, Raritan 9. We're at 195, or the 6th of 14. It ended up Burdick's choice, and he chose underneath.
Roth deferred.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Burdick underneath.
It initially took down and then deferred.
Off the mat in 5 seconds as Burdick was able to get up right away. Now the Raritan bench wanted a caution on Roth, and I think they could have gotten it, but Chris Rebels didn't award it. Burdick stands, he's out. Burdick has an escape, leads Roth 1-0. Roth dives in on a double, driving through, whizzer for Burdick. Heath goes to throw Roth, still no advantage, looking for a headlock, and he headlocks Roth, puts him on his back. Roth trying to bridge, wants to step across. Burdick trying to plant him with that headlock. Roth trying to fight his way off. Chris Rebels looks in, plenty of time here to go in the second. And Roth manages to belly down, and a 5-point play for George Burdick, and he leads 6-0. Injury time for Burdick on his finger.
I mean, that was a beautiful double penetration dive. He was taking him right at us, and Burdick managed to just roll the right way at the end and come across with that headlock.
He had the whizzer that prevented Roth from getting control.
I mean, Roth got deep on that double, and he pursued it to the end, and it looked like he was putting him right to his back. And then Burdick just whizzered through it, hipped up, and got the headlock. It was a tremendous, it was a nice-looking takedown, but an even better counter.
And I'm not sure Roth knew it hit him.
It was quick, because I think from the grip that he had and the forward motion that he had to think, I've got him good, and I'm going to put him right where I want him.
Roth is set. Trailing 6-0. Burdick with a cradle, cross-face cradle, and has back points coming. He got a 2 count, breaks it, 2 back points. 8-0 for Burdick on the cross-face cradle. Turned Roth pretty easily with that. Burdick riding out the right side. 30 seconds to wrestle in the second. Left hand thigh pry. Roth trying to work that Peterson roll. Burdick trying to turn Roth to his left. Chris Rebels indicated no. Now there's the Peterson. Reversal and back points coming for Roth. Roth trying to get more on Burdick's right shoulder, and that is stopped. Again with the hand or wrist, or is he looking for a bite mark or what? Did he bite him? I think he's going to disqualify Roth. Yep, he's going to be disqualified as he showed him a bite mark. So Burdick wins on the disqualification. So we are through 6. It is Raritan 15 and Phillipsburg 10.
3 minutes 58 seconds.
So we go to 2:20. It's Gage Horvath for Phillipsburg, the sophomore, 6-6. So Raritan grabs their first lead of the night.
Now we go to 2:20.
That was a strange turn.
The rock is Justin.
Roth was looking for that Peterson, finally got it. Seemed to have him in a good spot.
Justin Ostavedo, who weighed in at 195.4, taking on Phillipsburg's Gage Horvath, who weighed 205, so he's got about 10 pounds. Raritan in the lead, 15-10 after 6. Raritan dropped the first 2. They've won 4 straight. An overtime decision by James Eklund over TJ Abode. An 8-2 decision by Anthony Bailey over David Pearson. A 3-2 win by Anthony Aquilano over Jake Wicks. And George Burdick winning by disqualification, I believe on a bite at 3:58 over Austin Roth. Horvath trying a Russian tie. They're off the mat, no advantage. Working takedowns here, scoreless first at 2:20. Just under a minute to wrestle.
These guys are both pretty lean for the weight class.
.40 to go here, scoreless first. Neither one close to a takedown here so far. Now it's Acevedo looking for the Russian tie.
Horvath just snuck a look at the clock.
20 seconds in the first. Circles at the edge, and Horvath tried to step through. They're off the mat at 13 seconds. Acevedo, a District 20 third place finisher a year ago, but he was second in Region 5. 32 wins a year ago. Scoreless first here at 2:20. Acevedo defers. Horvath will take underneath to start the second. Acevedo, third in the Caldwell tournament, second in the Walter Woods. 61 career wins for Acevedo. He was 20-10 as a sophomore. 9-2 so far this season. Right hand tight waist. Horvath trying to pick that off. He's controlling the left wrist of Horvath, trying to pull that across the body. Horvath frees the wrist, 30 seconds into the second. Tries a 2-on-1 in the right wrist. Settling for, try to control that wrist. Stateliners have been struggling from the bottom tonight. Still controls that right wrist. Chops at the left elbow. Tried to chop at that elbow and tilt Horvath to his left. Under a minute to wrestle here in the second. No score between Justin Acevedo and Gage Horvath.
I would agree, Mike. They've been struggling from the bottom, and like, if this was collegiate riding time, we'd see that. And yet, Roth had a reversal, as did Pearson.
Right hand tight waist, left elbow. Raritan won the flip, so they were able to make a move that they like, getting James Eklund away from Cody Harrison at 152. Final 15 seconds. Reaches back, right hand thigh pry. So only a stalling warning against Horvath in the period. We are through 2, no score, and Acevedo will be underneath in the third. Horvath, left hand tight waist, right elbow. Acevedo stands right away, and he is out in 3 seconds. He has a 1-0 lead.
Neither came close to a takedown in the first period. Neither really took a shot. It was just a lot of locking up and circling. Acevedo seems to like that Russian tie. I think Horvath hasn't quite decided what his angle is going to be.
30 seconds in. Acevedo wants to keep trying that Russian tie. Neither one came close to a takedown in the first. Acevedo rode out Horvath in the second. And in a minute here in the third, neither one close to a takedown. Horvath looking for a bear hug, and they're off in front of the Stateliner bench.
Yeah, that was his first good grip with something to do.
Can't swear to this, Bob, but I think Coach Nucci wanted more in these weight classes here, especially out of Acquiano and here by Acevedo. I mean, they may both win, but they're going to settle for regular decisions, and I know Dave Post, when we head to the lighter weights, is expecting bonus points. Horvath there's a warning for stalling on Acevedo with 20 seconds to go.
I think in this bout, Mike, and the other, there's a skill differential that was in the favor of Raritan, but yet they haven't been able to take it very far.
You know, giving up some weight. About 10 pounds in this case, as Horvath looks for the Russian tie, and Acevedo is going to get a takedown in the final 3 seconds. He will win a 3-0 decision for Raritan at 220. We are halfway through. It's Raritan 18 and Phillipsburg 10.
Horvath just tried a shot at the end just to see what he could get.
5 consecutive wins for the Rockets. They have 4 decisions and a fall. Coach Nucci going over to the scorer's table with Chris Rebels. Is he looking at the weigh-in sheet to see who can move and who can't here? Phillipsburg didn't kick anybody up. This is going to be Cody Krutz at 285. And either Kevin Lind, Charles Barali, or Matt Spurko for Raritan. I don't know if we're looking at a rule book. We're looking at it. They're going to put a little Ed Mancinelli, the public address announcer, going to turn around the lamp, give them a little more light to read whatever they're reading.
Yeah, Coach Nucci just seemed to bring over the weigh-in sheet, not the rules, but there's further consultation and maybe some math going on. Because
he's paging through something.
Yes, he is. So I think we'll opt for the rule book in this circumstance.
Hopefully Ed Mancinelli will let us know what this is about when it's over. Let's recap it for you. We began at 145. Kyle Tino of Phillipsburg, an 11-3 major decision over Vin Mangano of Raritan. 152. Cody Harrison of Phillipsburg, a fall in a minute 13.